with Ben. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to those that need it. I made a live broadcast on a very, very important topic, and the video quality and the audio was not wonderful. And I resolved to redo the broadcast. The topic at hand is hard work and academic discipline, a roadmap to good grades. Why am I discussing this topic? I I have taught physics over the years and I have interacted with a lot of students and I've come to observe that almost all of them have something in common. I discovered students who are very smart, intelligent, who have all it takes to get good grades. I use different teaching methodologies, all the styles. Not just me, but some teachers as well, and the students keep on getting poor grades, and they are not dull students. And so I have come to discover what the problem is, and I have come here to share with us today. So you may have good experienced teachers, very good smart teachers. You may also have all the support that you need to further your education from your parents, your guidance, to any level that you can. But if you don't have academic discipline, and then if you are not hardworking, you aren't going to succeed or going to get your good grades. So I have come up with something that I hope it will help us. And before I proceed, I will love to tell us my story today. Back then, when I was in my JSS 1 to 3, I was like a village champion in my class. I My positions range from first, second, or third, and sometimes it's very poor. I take fourth position. Then I entered into the senior class, into the senior school, and I was transferred from my JSS school to a different school, to a different local government. And my father did all he could to sponsor me into that school. He he bought me one textbook. That textbook was physics textbook. I went to the school and I was not taking my education, my studies very serious. First time exam came, I took the worst position ever in my life. That was 11th position out of 60 something students. I went behind the classroom and I wept bitterly. When I was done weeping, I picked up a pen and a paper. I sat down and then I did what is called self-analysis. I evaluated myself and I asked myself some questions. Ben, who is responsible for this poor performance? Why do you get these poor grades? And I was very realistic. I was not biased. I was very rational and judgmental. Nobody asked me to do that. At the end of the day, I found my answers, the answers to my questions. Number one, I don't have a structured reading timetable. Number two, I had only one textbook my father bought for me. That sounds crazy. Yeah, I, yes, I don't have a structured reading timetable. I had just one textbook, and I was not serious with my studies. So, my resolution, the next day I woke up, I took the school timetable and I structured my own reading timetable from Monday till Sunday. Sometimes I'll read 2 a.m. and I I went around the SS2 students that were about to leave the school. I collected all their textbook. Please, I need chemistry, I need biology, I need mathematics. I collected all the textbooks and I started practicing and studying. When they are done teaching me, I will open the textbook and trace the topic and go through all the examples in between the lines with pen and paper in my hand. And then I will launch myself into the exercises. I will solve and solve. I will solve from top to bottom. I will get to a point where I have to maybe to a question that I will be unable to solve. At this point, I'll have to meet my teachers or meet my. And sometimes, if my teachers are too busy, I we have to take these questions back home, and then my my brother would put me through. He was going to a different secondary school, but a Catholic secondary school that was better than my secondary school. Now, the results, the results. I rose from 11th position in my SS1, that is second term to first position till I left the school in SS3. Now, it will also shock you that I was taught physics by my physics teacher in SS1 from first term to third term. The physics teacher, which name I will call right now, I call him Professor Sylvester Zaka. Zaka, he taught me physics and laid the solid foundation for me. In my SS2 till SS3, we had no physics teacher to teach us. And anytime somebody shows up in the school, the principal will ask him, go to that class. The class is free. The person will go in and teach us what they claim that they know, and sometimes they will not even follow the timetable. That was how we struggled with physics. And I and my mate, we read physics by ourselves. We came out clean in the university. I studied physics education instead of electrical electronics engineering. My grades in physics and in mathematics were wonderful. Now, I come to think of these things. You have a teacher that is taking you from SS1 to SS3, and you are not doing well in physics. You have all the sponsorship. You don't have any challenge. You don't have any constraints. So, what's your problem? What's your problem? And so, I have come to discover that we have a bunch of lazy students in this generation. Students who are indisciplined, students who are not serious with their studies, students who are very playful, students who waste time on social media, pressing phone, watching all the TikTok short videos, watching all the videos and pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, Facebooking and socializing, and students who don't have time for their books. This was what I did with no guidance, and this is the result. SS1 second term till SS3, I took first position till I left my school. And I was doing very, very well. What is your excuse? Why are you not doing well in your studies? This is not just physics, but all of your subjects. Now, this video, if you can take everything I want to say in this video very, very serious and swing into action, you are going to see massive turnaround in your educational life, not just educational life, but every area of your life. The pattern to success is universal. It's universal, and the pattern to failure is also universal. And so I'm going to lay us down today a pattern to success and also display to you the pattern of your failure. And if you're in that category, you have to come out of it. Now, let us see why you are not getting good grades in your subjects. This is very, very important. If you don't do this, if you don't get rid of this issue, you are just wasting your time. Now, I'll have these reasons for you. I've interacted with students worldwide, yes, and I have this to say. You may be in this category. Now, why you are not getting good grades, not just in physics. These reasons You may, these reasons may be one of the reasons why you, or all of them, why you are not getting good grades. Number one, you are very, very lazy. That sounds crazy. Yeah, you are very, very lazy. We have a bunch of lazy students in this generation. Students that we want the teacher to teach them and then also want the teacher to help them read their books. How is that possible? That is not possible. So you have to get out of your comfort zone. Physics is not meant for lazy students. Physics is not meant for the undisciplined. Physics is meant for hard working, disciplined, and principled students. If you want to get good grades in physics or any other subjects, you have to wake up from your slumber. Stop playing. Don't play. Number two, you don't have a reading timetable, just like me. Back then, I just told my story, and that was what happened. How can you succeed without a reading timetable? You don't read, you read randomly, and you read when you want to read. You don't read. You need to have a structured reading timetable that carries all your subjects from Monday down to Sunday, no breathing space. Up till now, I can still picture the mango tree I used to sit under to study, and that really helped me. Point number three, you read and prepare for your text and exam at the wrong time. Yes, a lot of students can only pick up their book and start reading when they see the test timetable or the examination timetable. That is a wrong time to read. The brain does not work in that way. The brain does not take information that way. The mind does not work that way. If you want to read and understand, if you want to pass your test and examinations very well, you start reading the first day you resume to school. You start reading the first day you resume to school. And then when you see your timetable and then your examination timetable, that is the time to do some little brush up or revision. You don't read, you keep procrastinating. You keep playing around, and when you see timetable, you start forcing it. The brain does not take information in a forceful way. Informations are dropped in the brain bits by bits. Okay, number point number four. You you have lack of time management. Yes, this is where I discuss procrastination. Procrastination is a thief of time. A lot of you, all the secondary schools I have taught, they have what is called free period for all the students. The school management is so wise in such a way that they structure the timetable for your day-to-day activity in such a way that you have free period. A lot of you waste your time and you don't read. What do you do? You make noise, you disturb. What do you discuss? Have you watched this movie? Have you watched this movie? Have you played this game? Why not ask, have you read this book? Have you studied this topic? Have you studied this? Have you solved this question? You make noise, you play around, you discuss Chelsea and Arsenal as if that concerns you. No, face your study. Why in school? Face what brought you to school. I keep telling my students, you may disturb the school environment as a group, make noise as a group, but at the end of the day, you aren't going to get group certificates. You're going to get group, you aren't going to get group certificates or group grade. You get an individual certificate and individual grade with your name written on it. Stop wasting time. Number six or number five, you are not playing your part to read and study. I discussed that earlier. The teacher can only teach you and teach you in the right way using the right teaching methodology, but the teacher cannot read your books for you. That is your responsibility. Wake up and stop being lazy. Wake up and stop being lazy. Read your books. Read your books. That is what makes you a student. There's no two way around it, there's no magic around it, there's no shortcuts. Number six, you are shifting blames. You don't want to take responsibility for your actions. I don't understand the way he teach. I don't understand the way she teach. He skips topics. He's skipping topics. Stop the blame game. Because I'm sitting before you, I've told you that I game. I did not school manage. Did not manage the situation. We read, and none of us failed physics. We all passed physics. What's stop the blame game? Stop shifting blames. Stop blaming your teachers that they're point number 7. You don't know the value of having good grades. Yes, some students don't know the value of some students don't know the value of having good grades. And this is what I will tell you now. Do you know what? When you fail any paper or any subject, F9, and you come to resit it, you don't register just one subject, you register all of them. Think about it. So why not spend time now and study? So good grades can give you scholarship. Good grades can give you award and rewards. Student in JAM, the best WAEC, you see they are sponsored, they have scholarship. It pays to have good grades. And of course, your education is your life. Your education is your life. You have to take your education very, very serious. Point number 8. You dislike your teacher. For the sake of your future, you don't need to hate any teacher. The secondary school level is a stage where we have teenagers. This is what I have discovered about teenagers. Teenagers love people who don't tell them the truth. They love people who are too soft with them. People who encourage them to do the wrong thing. They hate people that correct them to do the right thing. Yes, that is very true. I have worked with teenagers. Teenagers hate people that always tell them the truth. People that are always marking them, don't do this, do this. This is when I was in, I hated my dad seriously. I used to call him dad. Today, proud of my dad. He disciplined me. So why are you hating your teacher? When you hate a teacher, you also hate the subjects. And when you hate the subject, there's nothing that you can do to have good grades in that subject. For the sake of your future, love your teacher. I don't see any teacher that personally hates a student. We all love our students. Teachers are loving people. Stop hating your teachers. Point number 9, you are not focused. You are highly distracted. A lot of students are highly distracted. They don't know what they want. Some of them are distracted with relationship issues. Some of them are distracted with games. Yes, I tell people there is time for everything. There is time for everything. Yes. When you do the right thing at the right time, you get right results. And when you do the right thing at the wrong time, you get wrong results. There's nothing bad about having a relationship. Nobody's born. I had a relationship before. But a time came where I have to put my relationship behind me and face my studies. Yes. So, why in school? Face your studies. Academics and relationship don't go hand in hand. They are not in sync. You'll be in the classroom, you are thinking about your girlfriend or your boyfriend, all the places I've taught, except that some schools are very disciplined. You don't have those things happening. Especially in my school here, where I'm teaching currently, you don't have such happening in my school. But if you're in that category, you have to stop. Face your books. Face your books, and you will never regret it. A time is coming where you have to make choices of women and marry the woman that you want. Please, this is very, very serious. Stop being distracted. Focus on your studies. Point number 10, you are not organized. A lot of students are highly disorganized. Their brain work at its best in a very organized environment with someone who is very, very organized. Try to organize your life. Number 11, you don't practice exercises in your textbooks. I've come to discover that students don't read their textbooks. Yes, students don't read their textbooks. I was a bookworm when I was in my secondary school, and this was my secret. I will pick up the textbook in any subject that have taught me, trace a topic, read it in between the line, go through all the examples. I will not skip anyone. When I'm done, I will launch myself into the exercises and solve all of them. When the exam comes, I'll be seeing the questions for the second or third time, but some of my mates will see it for the first time. I will do marvelously well in all the papers. Teachers don't manufacture questions from heaven. Teachers are too busy to manufacture questions by themselves. Questions are lifted from the textbook. So if you are a student that loves reading your textbook and solving questions in your textbook, then you get your A1s in all your subjects. This is a top secret. Very top secret. And guess what? I was doing all of these things, and the school management was watching me. At the end of the day, they gave me the role of the library prefect. Let him go and eat all the books in the library. Point number 12. You don't ask questions. A lot of you claim that you know all. There's no man that is an island of knowledge. Even with teachers, we ask questions. There are some topics that if I want to teach, I have to consult my teachers who know more than I do. Nobody knows all. In every class, there's always a scholar. Meet those scholars in your class. Make them your friends. Study with them. And the law of association will apply to you. Knowledge will always flow from top to bottom. So ask questions. Don't be ashamed to ask questions. Don't claim to know when you don't know. Ask questions and you'll be clarified. Point number 13. You are too rigid. You are not flexible. I've come to discover that there are some students that once they know one pattern of doing something, there is nothing that you can tell them to stop or to learn a new pattern. This was how I was taught. Maybe the new pattern is a shortcut to your success, you don't know. Don't be rigid. Try new things. Give room for new things. Be open-minded. be flexible, be teachable, and then you will grow up. Don't be rigid. Number 15, you are not disciplined. What is discipline? Brian Tracy, in his book, No Excuses, defined discipline as follows. Discipline is doing what you are supposed to do at the time you are supposed to do it, whether you feel like doing it or not. So, discipline is not all about how I feel. I don't feel like reading today. I don't feel like attending my classes today. I don't feel like, no, it is not, I don't feel like. You don't put feelings in these things. Be disciplined, be hardworking, then success becomes inevitable. Number 14, you don't pray. You do it all yourself. You don't involve God in what you do. Point number 14 is supposed to be point number 1. I will conclude with this point. This is what I tell my students. Walk as if everything depends on work. Pray as if everything depends on prayer. Then success will become inevitable. Put God first in all that you do, and you will be successful. Don't pray too much and then you forget your books. Don't study too much and then you forget your prayers. All must be in sync, like two waves oscillating in phase. You pray, you read. You pray, you read. And then success becomes inevitable. What I just told you guys right now is what my students are enjoying almost every day in our physics class. If I have 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I use 5 minutes to tell them these things. And so if you have been watching my videos, you need this to come up with good grades. I wish you guys success in all your internal and external physics examinations and examinations in other subjects. God bless you. Bye-bye.